Greetings, my name is Jim Lindsay. I'm your instructor for CIS 141, and this is the orientation session for the Winter 2018 course. What you're seeing on your screen is the Blackboard site, and whether you got to this movie from the Blackboard site or from some other avenue, we're going to start here. Welcome to the course. Thank you for taking it. I hope that the information we're going to cover is going to serve you well. Not just at WKU, but hopefully beyond. What I'd like to do in this session is basically cover all the stuff that we would cover at a first meeting in a face-to-face course. Essentially, we're going to go over the class calendar and the syllabus. And so, let's get started. This is the syllabus for the course, and I'll show you where that's posted on the Blackboard site in just a moment. And I've emailed this to you. So you may have it you may have a copy of this from your email. You may have a copy that you've downloaded from Blackboard. Either is fine. You may want to go through your syllabus and take some notes as we go, but I'd like to just basically work our way through this document to begin. As you read the beginning there, this is a course which helps you learn computing concepts and verifies that you have various office skills that you're going to need at WKU. This is a survey course, and what this means is basically we cover a whole lot of material, but we don't go really deep into any of it. So in one respect, it's a hard course because you're learning about a whole bunch of different things, but it's also it's easier in the fact that you're not going super in depth and into those ideas. And so we're going to go all over the place. We're going to be talking about what is hardware, what is software, what is the internet, what is the computer network. We're going to talk about security and ethics and things like that quite a bit. So hopefully you're going to enjoy it. This is a completely online course. It's only 3 weeks long. Let me adjust the page here. This is a hard course, simply because it's in 3 weeks. Every single day is going to be a week. In a regular semester, you have a 15-week semester. We have 14 class days. If you were to work Monday through Friday on this, which I hope you will, you're not going to try and do that. I hope you're going to do a lot more than that. But if you're just trying to do Monday through Friday on this, every day we actually have 1 day less than the number of weeks we would have in a semester. So it's a lot of material. This format is not well suited for everybody, and if you don't want to pursue this, that's fine. You can take this during the semester, or you can take this during the summers in a bigger, in a face-to-face format or in a longer format. So that's what this course is. Those are the things that we hope to cover. My contact information is listed right here for you. As we just said, this is a online course, and so I'm not going to Grice Hall at all. Right now, Grice Hall is actually kind of in hibernation. They turn the heat off to as cold as they can get it without the pipes busting, and so I'm going to be working from my house. And so to reach me, please email me, or if you need to talk to me, here's my email, my phone number right there. That's my cell phone. Call me. If you get my voicemail, leave a message saying hey, this is John, or this is Susie, and I'm in your CIS 141 class. Here's my phone number, and here are some times when I am available. Give me a couple of different options to call you back. So that's how we'll communicate with one another throughout this course. Everything has to be through the phone or through email. There are certain things that you want to have for this as far as materials go for this course. The first being a textbook, and the textbook is the information about the textbook is listed right here. I would rent it from Amazon.com or something like Amazon.com. You can get it from the WKU bookstore, but it's cheaper if you get it from Amazon. And there's a link right here in the syllabus to their rental page. When you visit that page, and let me do that right now. I'm going to just visit this website. It opens, and it basically is at the price for buying it. You can see it's an expensive book. If you click on rent, however, it's the rental price right now is about $52.30, and so please get that. The sooner you get that, the cheaper it's going to be, and then you'll be able to return that at the end of January and be done with it. If you know somebody that just took CIS 141, they will have this book. There is a 15th edition. This is the 16th edition of the book. If you want to get the 15th edition of the book, you could also do that, but be advised the page numbers and the chapter numbers are different. In the 15th edition there were 16 chapters. In this one there's only 13. They took a lot of things and combined those, and so finding stuff in the 15th edition is tougher, but you could do that. That is an option if you have the 15th edition or if you know somebody that has it. So I would rent the book. That's where I recommend that you get it from, is Amazon. Now in addition to that, you're also going to possibly need a set of headphones if you're going to do your work in a computer lab, be that at WKU or a library or some other public place, that you have lectures like these, and obviously you can't be blurring this stuff out while you're sitting next to other people, so you may need headphones. And you're going to need Microsoft Office. And what version of Microsoft Office you need, you have a lot of choices. If you have Office 2016, that's the best, or Office 365, which you will, for our SAM projects, that's why you need this. In the SAM orientation session, I'll actually show you the Office 365 web page from WKU and how you can download that. Through your WKU technology fees, you are paying for Office from WKU. You can install that on up to 5 different computers. And so in that orientation session for SAM, I'll show you the Office 365 page and where you can get it. But whether you put Office 365 on a Windows computer or an Apple computer, you need Office. And if you use an Apple computer, you might have Office 2011 or you might have Office 365 for your Mac. You're going to need Office. So that's stuff that you're going to need. Scroll on that to the next page here. You're also going to need a broadband internet connection, DSL, cable, satellite, any of those would be acceptable. Basically anything besides dial-up. If you have dial-up, and there are plenty of places in Kentucky where dial-up is still the only option, if you have dial-up, then that's not fast enough for what we're going to be asking you to do. So make sure you have a broadband internet connection, that you have a browser such as the ones listed there, and you should be in good shape. So between your book, the Office software, headphones if you're going to work in public, and a broadband internet connection, those are the things you need. Alright, I've scrolled down the page, and all of our class meetings of course are online because this is an online course, and I think this is a lot harder than a face-to-face class. I do much better in face-to-face classes than I do online classes. It doesn't mean that you can't do them, but the amount of discipline required to complete an online course I think is higher than a face-to-face, because in a face-to-face you show up, once you're in the classroom, you get in the work mode, and there are other people around you as well as the instructor, and they can help you get into that whole frame of mind of working. With an online course, that's not there, and so I highly encourage you to look at the class calendar and make a schedule, and stick to it very strictly to make sure that you get all of this work done. There's a lot to do in this next 3 weeks. We're basically going to do everything that we would do in the face-to-face session. So please get that schedule set up. Use a class calendar, which you'll see in just a moment, and just force yourself to get everything finished. Okay, so what are the activities for this course? Well, of course you're going to read. I mentioned the textbook to you a moment ago, and in addition to the textbook, there are also articles. I have links out to articles and PDF documents that I'll ask you to read. So there's reading. There are online videos, these lectures, tutorials that you'll need to watch, and think about the material. And what I recommend to you as a student is, let's say you're about to cover the chapter 3 stuff. For any of the chapters, what I would do before you watch a lecture is open up the book and very quickly just go through chapter 3 and at least look at headline, like the titles and the subtitles and the different concepts that are in that chapter. Very quickly go through there and look at what's there, and then watch the video, and then go back and read the chapter in detail. By having at least browsed through the chapter, the stuff that is talked about is going to make a lot more sense, because you don't have that whole give and take that you get in a classroom where you can say, hey, what about this or what about that? You can't do that in real time in an online class. And so having exposed yourself at least at a very cursory rate by browsing, that will, I think, help you quite a bit. So there's reading, there are lectures and tutorials to watch, there are SAM projects, and those are basically 12 projects in which you demonstrate proficiency with Microsoft Office, and Word, Excel, and PowerPoint are included in that. And again, you have a detailed orientation session for those that you can watch after this. There are 2 types of exams that you complete. There are regular exams, and there is a final exam. And so the regular exams are, let me scroll down the page here. The regular exams are timed, and there's a 48-hour window. When you look at the class calendar, you'll see that there are 2 days in which to complete the regular exams. And so you're going to see basically the questions listed out on the page, and you get 30 seconds per question. You get 30 seconds total per question. Does that mean, so let's say there are the number of questions per test may vary, but let's say there were 55 questions on a test, or 56. Let's say there were 56 questions on a test. Since you get 30 seconds per question, if there are 56 questions, you're going to get 28 minutes total for the test. Some of those questions, you'll look at them and you'll go through them like, in 10 seconds, and others they might be longer questions. You may have to spend a little bit more time on them, but you get 30 seconds total per question. Why do we do that? Well, basically we do that because it makes it so that people can't be looking up answers as they go. Once you start the test, that timer starts, and at the 28-minute mark in that case with a 56 question test, boom, it's going to submit itself. And so if somebody is trying to look up answers as they go, yes, they'll get a bunch of those answers correct for what they're that they're looking up, but they're going to run out of time and they're not going to get a very good score. And so there are regular tests that are timed. You can take those anywhere you want. You can take those at home. You can take those, if you do this sort of thing from your office during lunch hour or something like that, you can take them there. You could take them in a library, at a computer lab. It doesn't matter. There is a comprehensive final exam that must be completed on either January 18th or 19th, and that has to be completed at a specific place. Now, the place that you complete it is a place that you're going to schedule your final exam through the distance learning office, basically through the testing center. And if you live in like Washington State, or you live down in Florida, or you're in Afghanistan, let's say you're a soldier deployed in Afghanistan, all of those places you can take your exam from all of those places. It's just you have to schedule that through the testing center. And when we go to the Blackboard site in just a moment, I will show you the contact information for them. And what I would like for you to do is please schedule your final exam appointment. Please schedule that on January 2nd, like as soon as January 2nd and they open up, because you can't do it until then. But on January 2nd, when they open up, go to their webpage or give them a call and schedule that final exam so you can have your appointment for January 18th or 19th. I'd probably do it the 19th to give you another day to prepare, but that's a Thursday or a Friday, and it is a closed book test. Basically, you go in there and just like if you took the test in person, make sure you take your ID. So you say, hey, I'm Jim Lindsay and I'm a WKU student. Here's my ID. They'll verify that for you. You sit down and what a proctor means. A proctor is basically somebody who watches you. and so they'll watch you complete the test and make sure that everything is works well for you, and that's it. So we'll have readings, we'll have lectures, we'll have projects, and we'll have exams, and so that's the format of the course. Okay, well, let's look at the grading. The grading basically is pretty simple. There is a syllabus quiz which you can take as soon as this lesson is over. Take the syllabus quiz. You can have the syllabus open. Please do have the syllabus open while you take it. It's 11 questions and it's worth 11 points. And what I'm asking you in the syllabus quiz is basically questions to verify that you have understood what we're talking about right now. I want to make sure that you're aware of what to expect, and if, in that case, you should be able to finish this class and be satisfied. If you're taking a course and all of a sudden you're surprised by things, that's not a pleasant experience. And so the syllabus quiz is the first thing you do for a grade, and it's going to be available the first 2 days of the course. And then there are SAM projects. Again, we've alluded to those several times. We've alluded to the regular exams and the comprehensive exam. Altogether, there are 1,000 possible points, and we'll look at the basically the standard grading scale of 600, 700, 800, 900 for D, C, B, and A. Those are the numbers you want to get, for like what you see right there. These are important dates right here. If you would like to withdraw from this course and get like a 100% refund, like it never happened kind of deal, you have to do that by January 3rd. If you would like to withdraw from the course, just a regular withdrawal, you have up until January 10th to do that. So those are important dates to remember as well. Everything's moving very quickly in this case because it's just this 3-week winter course. So those are the points that you can earn. And again, what you're trying to do is get 700, 800, 900 to get those types of grades. And it is point-based, it's not percentage-based. If you got 899 points, that's really close to an A, but that is a B. If you get 799 points, that is a C, and so on. So please contact me if you have any questions. Down here are some grading principles, which I'm sure you are not going to surprise you. Basically, once you turn something in, it's turned in. You can't redo things. There's no extra credit. And so, as I post a grade, like let's say when grades go in, like I want you to be contacting me with it. This really pertains more to the regular semester, but I included it with this syllabus as well. But if I post grades and then you don't say anything about it until like the end of the course, and then say, hey, what about that thing you did from the very first day of class? Well, like that was 3 weeks ago. And so if you have any questions about things, contact me within a week as I post those grades, so it's still fresh in my mind too, and we can talk about it. Great. Okay, let's talk about the remaining things in the syllabus here. The rest of this will go pretty quickly as far as the syllabus is concerned. Please be checking your email on a very regular basis. I will send email through Blackboard, and what Western systems do, their normal behavior basically is it'll send it from Blackboard straight to your WKU email. So if you never check your WKU email, please change that behavior, because as I send stuff through Blackboard, that's where it's going to go. Now, if you just don't want to check your WKU email, what you need to do is get into TopNet and configure the system. So basically, you can, if you go into TopNet, here are instructions here. You can tell the system which email is your preferred account. Let's say you like Gmail or Hotmail or something like some other email system better. You can get into TopNet and tell it what is your preferred account, so it will forward to somewhere else. But I will be sending you email through Blackboard, reminders and any kind of communication through Blackboard. So please make sure that you are checking your email. I will use Blackboard for all of the presentation of information as well as posting grades. The only thing we're going to use besides Blackboard is something called the SAM site, and that's from sam.cengage.com, and again, you'll see that in detail when you watch the SAM orientation session. So the Blackboard site is important. Your email is important. Please make sure you're checking those. If you are a veteran or a family member of a veteran, there is a resource on campus called the Veterans Resource Center, which is down in Tate Page Hall. Please take advantage of that. That's a really cool service that basically they have primarily textbooks, and you can go down there and through that Veteran Resource Center you can get help with all sorts of things you might need on campus, but especially textbooks. And so their location is right there on the screen. Their website is right there, and you can contact them. But that is a benefit that you've earned through your service, or you've earned through the service of your family member. And please take advantage of that. It's a really good thing. This next topic is really important, and unfortunately, it's necessary to post this in the syllabus. But please do not cheat on anything. If you cheat on anything, you will fail the course. I will contact the registrar and say, hey, don't allow this student to drop. They get a grade of F. You're going to be most tempted to cheat on SAM projects. SAM projects are worth 25 points apiece. There are 12 of them. Altogether, it's 300 points. If you turn in anybody else's work, or if you give your work to somebody else and let them turn it in, you will get caught. We have basically technology built into the system that will notify us, and for that 25-point project out of 1,000, you end up failing the course. And unfortunately, it happens nearly every semester. So please do not do that. I very much dislike having to pursue those things, but I will. So if you're tempted to cheat on anything, don't do it. There's no one thing in this class that will preclude you from passing the course. I mean, you could completely skip a test, but the only thing that you can't skip is the final exam. As long as you take the final, and you have to take the final exam, in person at that proctored location. As long as you don't miss the final exam, you could skip one or two other things and still pass. So, as far as difficulty goes, I think this is a not a hard class to pass. But I guarantee you, if you cheat on something and you're caught, we will give you an F. So please do not do that. Down here we have the contact information for the Student Disability Services Office. If you have an accommodation letter of any sort that you need to get to me, please send that as soon as possible. I won't make any sort of accommodations without them. And when you send that to me, then I will, and also send me like your phone number so we can talk about it, because just because it has something listed on an accommodation form doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get it. It's we need to talk about those things. And so please send me any sort of accommodation forms. If you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. But if you do work with the Student Disability Office and you have an accommodation form, take a picture of it with your phone and text it to me, or take a picture and email it to me, and your phone number, and then we can talk on the phone. This we're just about to the end here. The Title IX information is something you're seeing in every single syllabus that you get from Western, and what it talks about is basically the policy and the procedures for if you experience any sort of harassment or assault. And so please take a look at those. And basically, if that sort of thing happens, let somebody know. You can let me know. You can let somebody at the Counseling and Testing Center know. You can let the police know. But we want to make sure that there's an environment on campus where you are not harassed. Please know that I am considered what's called a responsible person. If you contact me with such where it talks about these responsible employees down here, if you contact me and talk with me, I am required by law to then report that. And if you want to talk to somebody without it being reported, your option is to basically go to the Counseling and Testing Center and talk to the people that work there. At that point, you have privilege with the counselors there. And so please be aware that's something that that people need to know. So this is something hopefully you're seeing in all of your syllabi, and we want to make sure you're aware of that. Lastly, we get into the course objectives, and please take a look at those. Essentially, this class is part of the Gordon Ford College of Business, and in the Gordon Ford College of Business, we have certain learning objectives or initiatives that we're trying to make sure all of our students meet. This particular course has been assigned responsibility for the objectives you see listed in this table right here. And so what I've done is gone through and looked at the activities we complete, and then looked at ways we can assess those to see, we basically want to have an assurance that we're actually learning the things that we're supposed to be learning. And so if you're going to be a teacher, especially, take a look at that, because I'm pretty sure you're going to have to also create things like that for your courses. But for this course, these are the objectives for which we are responsible for covering. So this is my plan on how to do that and how to assess that. And if you have any questions about that, please let me know. Okay, so that is the syllabus. What I'd like to do now is flip over to the Blackboard site, and then lastly basically close with the calendar. And so let me pull up the Blackboard site. I have that open in Chrome. And when you go to my website, for my Blackboard site, it's going to always come to the announcement page. And I will use this to basically give you reminders about, hey, so and so is this project is due, or there's a test coming up, or here a test is now available, here's the password for it. So I will use this announcement page a lot. So please be checking in on a very regular basis, and especially as intense as this course is, every day I would be getting into Blackboard. On the instructor information page, you have my contact information. The most important thing there, of course, is my phone number and my email address. Please make sure that you're staying in contact with me. If anything happens, like you get sick, or you have a family emergency or something like that, notify me. And I know, as soon as possible, notify me, because it might be a case where we need to get basically a medical withdrawal from this course, and then do this in the spring or something like that. There's no time to basically miss anything in this particular kind of course. And so really make sure you're staying in contact with me about what your situation is. The syllabus and the class calendar are posted here. So I put both of those up there as PDF documents, so everybody ought to be able to open those. The syllabus, we just went through that document. Please make sure that you're, when you take the syllabus quiz in just a couple of minutes, make sure that you have that open and you scroll through it as you take it. The class calendar, check that on a regular basis. That is a tentative class calendar, so I reserve the right to basically change things as needed. The lessons page is where you'll spend the most of your time. There are 3 modules in our class, basically 3 folders, and in each of those folders, and when you see the calendar in just a moment, you'll see that we're going to cover these in the order they're presented here. I've named the modules after the characters from Harry Potter. I'm a big Harry Potter nerd, and so Harry, Hermione, and Ron, those are the module names. As you look at a module, let's go into Harry, for example. Here's the class orientation. Basically, you're watching this right now. So what you do is you go into a module, and you are responsible for covering those particular things during that module. And so each test, like exam 1 covers the Harry module, exam 2 covers the Hermione module, exam 3 covers the Ron module. And so that's how I've chosen to organize the information. So that's the lessons page right there. The projects page, when you start into the SAM stuff, and you'll get the details on this in the other orientation session. This is basically a page of links, and each one of these links takes you to either the SAM website to log in to do work, or a tutorial movie over those different projects. And again, you'll get details in the SAM project orientation session for those. On the quizzes and exams page, on this page what you have is a folder that has practice tests in it. So as you click into this folder right here, you'll see there are already practice tests for Harry, Hermione, and Ron, and I hope you will take advantage of these practice tests. You can take these as many times as you want. There's no time limit, and I guarantee you the people that are going to do well in the course are people that are going to practice. You will see real test questions while you do this practice, and you'll also see a whole bunch of other questions. What I've done, I've taken the test pools and created mini versions of the test for you to practice with. So each time you take it, you should see different questions, and because there is no time limit, you can have the book open, you can be looking up answers, you can be basically rehearsing for the exams 1, 2, and 3. And the final exam is basically a Frankenstein of exams 1, 2, 3. So the way I would prepare for the final exam is to go into these and take whichever one of these you did the worst on more times than the others. So these are a very valuable tool, I think, in helping you prepare for the exams. So that's that folder, the practice exams. It's on the quizzes and exams page here. And there's also, you'll see, right out of the gate here, you can take the syllabus quiz. This will be available until 11:59 p.m. Central Time. WKU is located in the Central Time Zone. So I know some of you are in Louisville, Lexington, you're in Ohio, Indiana, Georgia. Be aware of that because you guys are Eastern Time Zone. And some of you may even be Texas, California, something like that. So all our time zone stuff is posted for Central Time. So this quiz right here, you click on that link and it'll present you with the 11 questions that you can take to verify that you are familiar with the syllabus. So this is the quizzes and exams page. You'll see exam 1, exam 2, and exam 3 show up here as well as the final exam. So that's how we'll use this page. Now this next link, register for the final exam. If you click on that, it says, hey, there's a PDF document here. Let's go ahead and open it. And this is an email. This is the text of an email which you may have received already. I'm not sure if the testing center has sent that to you, but I took the text of it and put it into this document so you can see it. These are instructions for registering for the final exam. And everything you need to know in order to make your appointment is right there. Ms. Phillips is a really nice person to work with. You contact her with any questions. You have this information. This final exam is available on January 18th or 19th, and as long as you register with them, you can take it wherever you are. I don't care if you're in Tahiti or the Bahamas or in Istanbul, whatever, wherever you are, you can take it as long as you register with them and get a proctored location. The soonest that you can register for that final exam is January 2nd, 2018. So as soon as that date hits, please give those guys a call or follow those instructions and make sure you have your appointment for your final. And that's it. The last part, like the tools, you see this in all of your class, basically like the grade book and email features and stuff like that. This link right here is to the IT help desk. This being an online course, I thought that was especially important to include that. If you have any sort of IT issues, like you can't log into stuff, you need to give those guys a call as soon as possible. The helpline desk, of course, is 745-7000, and that's right up there at the top of that page. So this is the Blackboard site. The way I'd like to close is basically give you take a look at this calendar. Let's take a look at when we're doing what. And this is a calendar, and you'll see you have this as a PDF document on the Blackboard site. But you'll see there are the 3 modules, Harry, Hermione, and Ron, and then the final exams down here. And it lists out the dates. You'll see like January 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I included weekends. I mean, we don't have time to not include weekends in this course. If you don't want to work on weekends, get out. Would be my advice. There's no way to get this done Monday through Friday, unless you've taken the course and you just have to go through and you're doing this for a second time. Then you might get away with working Monday through Friday, but everybody else is gonna have to do it Saturdays and Sundays. And you can see from here basically where the quiz, exams, and project, where those are scheduled. Exam 1, for example, is going to be available on January 6th and 7th. So that's the 48-hour period for Exam 1. Exam 2 is going to be available on Friday and Saturday, January 12th and 13th. Exam 3 is going to be available on January 17th and 18th. Right there. The final exam is available January 18th and 19th, and that's at a proctored location. Your SAM projects, which you get those details from that SAM orientation. The first 6 SAM projects are due on January the 10th. You can do those early. Hopefully some of you are, I'm actually going to make this course open about 2 weeks before the term even begins, and my hope is that all of you will get all of your SAM projects done before January 2nd. That would be the bomb. That would make me ecstatic. But you can do these SAM projects early, but you can't do them late. So all the PowerPoints in Word 1 and 2 are going to be due at 11:59 p.m. on Wednesday, January the 10th. The remaining 6 projects are going to be due down here at 11:59 p.m. Central Time on January the 19th. As far as these other things listed here, like the lessons, all this stuff is already there. So you can start into the lessons now. And you don't have to do chapter 1 on that particular day. Not at all. It's just these are the lessons included in this module. These are the days that are part of that module. If you have any questions about the calendar, please call me. Calling is always much better because we can just we can answer a question very quickly in a telephone call, whereas if we email back and forth, that may take 2, 3, 4 emails, whereas a phone call we can answer it in 30 seconds. But that's the schedule. So it's tight. We got a lot of work to do. I hope you will start early. I hope that this is going to be a positive experience for you. I appreciate you taking the course, and I look forward to working with you. So thank you for your time and attention. Have a good day.